So in the last stream was our day one at this school, and we made some friends. This is day two. Let's see how it goes. I wake up after what feels like far too much time and too little sleep later, swearing into my pillow and wondering groggily just how many times it's been tonight. How many times? The nightmare? Oh, damn. I thought the nightmares I've been having since this whole mess started were beginning to go away, but tonight's really been something else. Do I dare pick my phone to check the time? It's not like I really need to. I know that it's late enough to be bad, if not early enough. Seeing just what time it is exactly would just stress me out. If anything, it'd make it harder to go back to sleep. True. Make it so I couldn't stop thinking about just how much sleep I've missed. 4:36. The numbers look back at me, calm and defiant from the blinding blue glow of the screen. They're happy now, Eric? Now you know exactly in what bad shape you are. We all have fucked up sleep schedule. This is also stupid. I've been rolling around like this for hours now, and I don't feel like I've had a minute of real sleep. I just keep turning around, waking up from nightmare after nightmare, gasping for air through a flood of childish worries and panic. Wow, that's intense. Why is it so bad today? It's probably just the stress. I'm still not used to sleeping in this bed, in this room, with this window and this closet and this ceiling. And it's been so long since I've had to fall asleep the night before a school day. It's not bad or scary so much as strange. Valid, makes sense, at least it shouldn't be. I think back to the email I read before going to sleep. Dr. Faber wanting to have a meeting with me. Oh, that's why. To get to know me better. He's going to be my counselor for the first year of this for the for the rest of the year. So I suppose it makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to have a regular expert counselor. I'm going to meet him 3 times a week, and he's going to frown and nod and tell me to think logically about things while I tell him about my fears. That is, of course, assuming he doesn't just give up on me. Damn. Damn, I'm already tired. It is pretty late for you. You're not really a night owl, right? So you can go to sleep. You're sick too. Take care of yourself. Maybe this really is more than just what I'd like to think of us as run of the mill first week at a new boarding school kind of stress. Wow, yeah. You also have tests or exams going, right, Mika? School messes it up. Yeah, of course, it's understandable. Are you still sick? Still, one way or another, I need to get some rest. I don't want to make a bad impression before I've even really started my life here. Besides, I might miss something important if I go to my first real day of school tired. Oh, you're done. Oh, wow, that's amazing. How did they go? I'm too sleepy to think properly, but I think I should be able to. Oh, I hope you stream it again. Yo, why are you still sick? I hope you get better soon. God. Are you taking meds? Are you taking care of yourself? I hope you are. I'm too sleepy to think properly, but by this point, I'm far too awake to go back to sleep. Oh, I know that feeling. I just lie on my bed for a few more minutes, face still buried inside my pillow. Should be through successful, wonderful. You're so smart. I'm really sweaty under the sheet. It's not very comfortable. Yeah. No, I never take meds. I let nature. Fair enough, fair enough. Only take meds if it's real bad. Yeah, makes sense. Are you at least having something warm? Like whatever you like? Hot chocolate? Because warm stuff helps with the throat. I'm not going to sleep tonight. Today. Is it today already? Pretty sure it is. I'm definitely not going to sleep. I sit up on my bed and stretch my sore arms. What now? No? Well, you take care of yourself is all I'll say. Throat is fine now. Oh, just your nose? Okay. So you're getting better. Slowly. Wait, I missed it. Oh, what now? School doesn't start for 4 more hours. No point leaving my room just yet. You can go outside and walk. Didn't miss anything, I guess. But what point is there to staying? I'm already done unpacking my stuff. I don't have any real homework right now, and even if I did, I'd be too tired to really handle it. Tuesday! Hi, welcome in Scorpio. How are you doing? I was gonna go live on Sunday, but I ended up falling asleep 30 minutes before my stream time. And then I woke up 4 hours later to when I usually end my stream, so wow. Evening, evening. How's your day been? But what point is there to staying? I'm already done unpacking my stuff. I don't have any real homework right now, and even if I did, I'd be too tired to really handle it. My head aches and my mouth tastes of sleep despite having not gotten any. I'm sweaty, I'm smelly, and my hair probably looks like something a cat threw up. Wow. First order of things should be taking a shower. I pick up my glasses from the nightstand, gather a new set of clothes, and head out. A short while later, I'm already dressed up, clean and presentable. Too bad school doesn't start for a while. What exactly am I supposed to do now? Sit in my room and wait? You could lurk around. What happened? I thought you liked walks. Go walk. I think the common room's still open, but other than making myself some coffee and sitting down on a couch, I don't know what I'd do there either. Fair enough. I can't turn the television on with everyone else still sleeping, and I haven't brought any books to read. Maybe there's a library you can get some books. This can't be just my problem, right? Someone must have come up with something at some point. My eyes wander quietly over the school grounds past the window. That gives me an idea. Ella never said they locked the dorms down at night, did she? I mean, it makes sense on the one hand with what some students possibly wandering off unsupervised, but on the other hand, I don't. Then I think the same thing about the cafeteria. This isn't a prison. I could go for a stroll outside, get some fresh air, stretch my limbs, get a hang of the surroundings if nothing else. Exactly. It'd just be like old times. I should check this out. Yeah. What do you know? They really do leave the door unlocked. I step outside and take a big breath of the early morning air. It's moist and frigid, so I cough it all back out a second later. But I'll be damned if it doesn't feel good. Why can't I, imagine it? With everything that happened, it must have been months since I've been outside like this. Not just free to walk around the backyard of some hospital so the doctors can see how long I can manage, but actually out in the open by myself. Oh, it's so different out at this hour. You can hear the birds and breeze so clearly. I wanna be there so bad right now. The faint light gives the dorm the air of a scene from a movie. I still can't believe just how ornate that old building is. I should go on a tour of the city sometime. Laney's architecture is amazing, close to home, but with just enough unfamiliar flourishes to capture the eye. I went leisurely down the path from the courtyard, rubbing my hands together against the cold and trying to take in as much of the surroundings as possible. Sometimes I think I can make out the silhouette of another student passing by, but it's hard to tell in the darkness. It's a pretty crazy picture, just imagining it from afar. Bunch of boys in pajamas and school uniforms scrambling around aimlessly in the middle of the night. Like a scene from a zombie flick. In a different sense, though, it's relaxing. The fact that there are others means I'm not alone. Yeah, sure, maybe weird, but so are they. If you divide it, it's like each one of us is a little less weird on our own. So, moving away from the dorms in a wide, winding circle through the campus, I eventually make my way nearly to the school building's door before turning back. As I'm about to begin walking, though my attention is caught by a familiar sound making me freeze in place. Okay. Sounding clearly in the empty air is a soft, melodious humming, not the same but vaguely similar to the one I heard yesterday. Oh my god, it's her? I turn slowly. I turn around slowly to find the source. It's faint, but given that I'm hearing it all now, how far could it be? A few steps past the school corner, I find what I've been looking for. Is it her? No, it's not. It's this, okay? Damn, I don't remember the names. There's a quiet girl that I was thinking was the one humming because she's always listening to music and stuff. But it's Kaja. She's the girl we met at the vending machine eating a sandwich. Kaja, the girl with the eye patch from yesterday, is leaning lazily against a garden terrace wall, staring at the ragged horizon stretching behind the lake and humming to herself. She's way louder about it than she was yesterday, sometimes nearly opening her mouth and spelling out words. Maybe she doesn't think there's anyone around. Pretty sure that's the case. I move closer. Good morning, Eric. Oh? She's not even looking my way. Morning. I mean, sorry, I didn't think you saw me. I mean, I didn't think I'd meet you here. I mean, what are you doing here? Taking a walk. I do believe this came up in our talk yesterday. I guess Eric and I, we both have similar memories then. How about you? Not working on your stealth skills, I hope. Got terrible of that. My blind side's the whole other way. I'm about to start muttering an apology when I realize she's smiling wildly at me. Have you decided to try out my idea? Well, no. I mean, not specifically. I just thought I'd go out or something, you know? Explore around a little bit, breathe some air, cool my head. Maybe it had something to do with what you said yesterday. I don't know, back of my mind or something. I see. That's good to hear. How do you like it so far? It's nice, actually. Really beautiful place when you don't have to think about making it to dinner time. Dinner in time. Crazy cold though. Try putting on something next time. The winter uniform is a lot fancier than it's warm. Maybe an undershirt? I guess you learn something new every day. You mind if I join you there? It feels weird to be standing like this. Not at all, be my guest. She moves a step to the right, and I carefully move in beside her, resting my leg against the wall and hoping I don't look weird standing. I know it's hypocritical after I spent half of our last meeting staring her in the eye, but that just makes me feel more self-conscious about it. I don't want her to see me stumbling. You've already stumbled quite a few times in front of her. I don't know what you're talking about. After a momentary silence, she turns back to me and speaks. Are you still having trouble sleeping? More or less. I'm pretty sure it's just the stress keeping me up. I gave up on trying at some point and thought I'd try a different approach. She nods, stifling a little chuckle. A wise move. You'll do yourself much better that way. Sleep is important, but there's no forcing it when it doesn't come. I kind of wish they added like a little bit of voice at least, like some dialogues to every character so that I could know how they sound or they're supposed to sound. Like in ballads at midnight where they'd randomly have characters speak. Are you talking from experience? Did I miss something? Katja seems okay. Katja is nice actually. She's very nice. In the last stream we talked to her about how she approaches people because we're in a boarding school for people with mental health issues, so everyone's different and they require different type of interactions. So she was just like really going into in depth about how to do all of that. Just be like me and voice everything. I'm kind of bad at that. I will try. I don't know how to. I'm bad at it. Like maybe I can change accents, but that too, it won't be consistent. Mine and others, actually. Almost every student I've ever met here has had trouble sleeping at some point. Insomnia can be a symptom of any number of problems, and the few times it isn't, it could still be a side effect of your medicines. Oh, I never thought about it like that. I knew I saw some others while walking here. Probably not even half of them, as you've so cleanly mentioned yourself. It's a little bit cold. Most of the ones who are already up are probably staying inside. Can't say I blame them. Doesn't matter if you're bad at it. Okay, okay. I can barely do it either, so I'm. Aw, thank you so much. You do it greatly, though. You do it greatly. Don't belittle yourself like that. Her face lights up in a mischievous smile. Smile? What smile? Never mind. You could still go back if you want to. It's not like I was expecting there to be anyone I could talk to. Maybe you'll catch a couple more hours of sleep. Go on, I won't be angry. Just leave me here all by myself with the crickets, nothing but the sound of my heartbeat and the sorrowful wail of the wind to remind me that I'm still alive. That's deep. All alone in the dark and the cold, not a soul in the world I could possibly Okay, okay, you're doing something there. Forever to keep all the thoughts and feelings I'm having right now on my mind. Go ahead, go back to sleep, dream of whatever you like, wake up, go to school. Let this millennial morning fade into. Okay, okay, fine. Suddenly I find myself wanting to stay. Fancy that. By the way, I think you still owe me lunch from our last meeting. Does he? What? Lunch, the meal between breakfast and dinner, usually eaten at midday. I know what a lunch is. Then you recognized I gave up on mine yesterday so I could talk with you. It would have been rude otherwise. Rude? How would it have been rude? People talk over food. Kaja looks at me like I've suggested we take her clothes off. Not like that. You need a proper seating and plates and some drinks to go with it all. You can't just have any kind of talk you want at any time. That's completely inappropriate. Okay. I see, Katja. But I was eating the whole time yesterday. I know, how awful is that? Good thing I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. How does Kaiser's How does what something sound? I probably shouldn't have any, but this is a treat, isn't it? With raisins and plums and some applesauce on the side. What is that? It should be alright on a weekend. That's good. Wonderful. All's well that ends well. Don't worry too much about it. We can settle your debts at a later date. What is that though? Like, I don't know how to pronounce it. And what is that? If you know. She uses the same formal tone to say it that she did while introducing herself, but her expression is far more relaxed now. Guess she's getting comfortable. I think it's safe to assume that she's joking, and you know what? For a quiet moment out here standing back and thinking about nothing with somebody friendly, I don't even mind. I'll buy them a lunch. So, what do you say? What do you usually do out here when you're up? Depends on how long I've been up. Mostly, I'm happy just walking and thinking. It's a pretty underrated activity. Well, yeah, you have a point. What do you do when your thoughts interrupt? If I wake up early enough, like today, I like to go here and wait for the sun to rise. It's gorgeous if the weather is right. As if to make a point, she lifts her sleeve slightly and takes a quick glance at her watch, checking how much time we've got. Wouldn't want to miss it. Huh, I know that feeling. Really? Yeah, I'm actually really into, I'm used to standing outside in that pitch blackness, shivering in clothes, looking towards the horizon like we're expecting something other than the very definition of regular. It's basically pancakes just all together in little. Oh, okay, okay. I'm gonna have to look up how to pronounce it then. I think I accidentally made it once. Um, it reminds me of all those early mornings in Rheindold or Schreiberg back when Gustav and I went out camping. I'd make a challenge out of trying to wake up before him. Never made it work. No matter what I tried, if I ever went to sleep, he'd be sitting nearby as soon as I've opened my eyes, already fiddling with the burner and brewing coffee. I'm pretty sure he was doing it on purpose. Point is, I like that kind of thing, you know? Obviously, no. I mean, not specifically the waiting for the sun, more of a general outdoors thing. Hiking, trekking, mountain climbing, geography too. A vertical adventurer, I guess you could say that. An impish glint flares in Katja's eyes. Is that so? Yeah, I mean, not on like a professional level or anything, as a hobby. I see, okay then. How about you tell me something I don't know about geography? What, like a challenge? If you'd like to call it that, why? Would it be a challenge? Oh, you did not. Okay, it is on. Okay, how about this? Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa. Give me some credit, sir. I know that much. Amma in my. Okay. I would really appreciate that. I would love that. Thank you, Mika. Sure, sure. Just getting started. So, like I said, it's the highest mountain in Africa. That makes it one of the seven summits, which is a list of the highest mountains on each continent. It's a bit less than 6 kilometers above sea level, which makes it the fourth on that one, right behind Mount McKinley in North America. Wow, I'm not gonna remember any of that unfortunately. It's located in the northeast end of Tanzania, near Mashi. It's a dormant, three cones stratovolcano, and the cones are called Kiba, Mwenzi, and Shira. The actual summit, that's the highest point on the entire mountain, is called Uhuru Peak and it's found around what is technically the crater of the Kibo cone. Huh. The word Kilimanjaro comes from the regional word for white since it snows on it during the rainy season. Just like one of those places where you don't really have a winter and summer just dry and wet. Uh huh. Like where I live, technically, not dry, just warm. So, so far so good. The look on Kaja's face is absolutely priceless. I mean, that was a lot of info. Anybody's look would be priceless. It's only once I give it some thought that it dawns on me that I've been grinning like an idiot half the time. It might not be the prettiest or the cheeriest smile I've had, but it's so genuine. It feels so real. I didn't have to force it. Yeah, it feels so good to do that again. I don't even remember when was the last time I did it. It's proud, it's exciting. It makes my stomach turn, but in a good way. I don't want to stop now. I want to keep doing this for as long as God will let me. So, how was it so far? Is there more? Man, I could keep going for hours. So, hear me out. The two most famous routes to the summit are called Marangu and Machame, but to most climbers, they're Coca Cola and whiskey. The idea is that whiskey is for more experienced types, while Coca Cola is for beginners. In practice, though, it may not be that much easier since it has way shorter acclimatization, acclimat, climate, acclimatization period. So the start is milder, but then you end up with breathing difficulties. Now, whiskey, on the other hand, takes about a week to climb up, and the only reason I know that is because until just a couple of months ago, I'd planned on one day making it. I had a stupid childish dream of making it, me and Gustav, all the way up to the summit. Didn't know when I'd get around to it, just that I would. It felt certain, and it was certain that Gustav will be there with me. It feels so infantile thinking about it right now, like a child dreaming about what they're going to be when they grow up and thinking they'll be an astronaut or a president. Hell, the way I am now, this is just as silly as if I'd wish to grow up to be a dinosaur. It's meaningless. It's all completely, absolutely meaningless. Okay, I'm gonna do a trigger warning, I guess, because this can be quite depressing. I let my back sink a bit down the wall. I shift my weight a little bit to the side, trying to calm down and then catch myself by holding the wall back with one hand. That's a lot of details. My leg feels like it's made of insects. Oh, for a moment, it was like I'd almost completely forgotten about it. Now it's gone. God just stands wordlessly, waiting for me to continue speaking. It takes me a while to realize that her eyes are fixated on my leg. How long has it been this way? I begin moving it on instinct, but then it occurs to me that if she really did somehow notice my limp in the minute or so we were both standing, trying to hide it now would only just make it worse. She opens her mouth to speak, and I brace myself. Goodness, do I know somebody you'll get along with just fine? You know somebody? Huh? I look up to see if she's kidding. Her smile is as honest as ever. No hint of pity, no disgust, not even confusion. Huh? I try to respond, but my throat suddenly feels like I've swallowed an entire sea sponge. What, they're into mountain trivia or something? Something like that. I don't know how to respond to this. I wouldn't either. The tight feeling in my stomach is beginning to fade away. My muscles are still all wound up, and I feel like I'm about to fall, but other than that, it's fine. Could it be that she hadn't noticed after all? Carefully, not to let go of the chance, I start slightly pushing myself up the terrace wall. If I do this correctly, it wouldn't even look like I. Please don't. It's nothing that you should be ashamed of. I. I know. I just didn't think you'd. She lets out a dry laugh and waves her left arm, eventually pointing to her eye patch as well. Don't you think I know a thing or two about that? You happen to be talking to a bit of an expert here. At least you could probably fake walking right if you put enough effort into it. My choice mostly comes down to whether to rip off the eye patch, and it's not like that make me stand out less. And let me tell you, it's amazing how fast the novelty wears off of having guys looking at your face for a change. Oh, girl, tell me about it. It's just that I thought I was doing fine. I could hear you from behind the corner. You have a gate. What's a gate? I guess I do. But that doesn't mean you weren't doing fine. My point is that I don't mind it, and neither does anyone I can think of that you might like talking to. She takes another look at her watch, and when she looks back up, it's with a face as cheerful as if the subjects never changed. That was pretty impressive. I didn't know most of it. Oh, it's good for you to have something that you're so passionate about, true. I may not know as much as you about Africa, but I think I might get why you like strolling around like that. I used to like going on walks too. Lena isn't quite mountaineering challenge, but it does have some beautiful parks. Of course, lately I've been forced to make to do to ma- of course lately I've been forced to make to do what? Forced to do the lawns around here. I'll give it to the faculty. The garden is magnificent, considering the circumstances. I don't know what happened there. Have you been to the city of Moina yet? The city proper, that is, not the school that's technically in it. Just a little bit. I spent a while there before moving, and why? I think you might enjoy it. Think of it as like the school here, but with more people, better shopping, and less fences. I'll keep it in mind. For now, though, I should probably start looking into other things to do. Let's face it, I'm not doing any hiking anytime soon. I've looked into joining the newspaper club. Do you know a girl named Lena Forst? Wait, what about Lena? You could say that. I did hear something about a new applicant. Oh, okay. Wait, what? You're in the newspaper club too? This is giving me flashbacks from yesterday's dinner. Wait, why would you hear about that? Who talks about this kind of thing? This is a high school, Eric. Okay. She raises her eyebrows as if daring me to challenge that answer, but she's right. Fair enough. How about you in terms of hobbies? I mean, hobbies. Extracurricular activities? Avocations. Right, I already told you mine, so it's only fair that you tell me a little bit about yours, isn't it? What do you like to do in your spare time? There's a demure smile on her lips, but between the puffed out and the proud glint in her eye, she's not fooling anyone. I sing. Oh, like in a band or something? A band? Is that the kind of impression I've been making this whole time? I sing in the school. I suppose that does make a lot of sense. It would explain the humming, and she definitely has the voice for that. That does sound a lot more like you. Is there anywhere I could hear you perform? She blinks an eye and thought, well, we do have the holiday coming up. Though I don't really know how to pronounce it. Koir will be participating both in the opening event and the gala, so I suppose I'll be spending most of the next 2 weeks somewhere around the chapel. Is where we practice. Sounds like a solid plan if I ever run out of stuff to do. I've been wanting to check out the chapel anyway. I'll be sure to give you a visit sometime. I mean, if that's alright. I wait for an answer, but none comes. Given that we were just talking, it takes me an embarrassingly long time to realize that Kaja has fallen completely silent. Following her gaze towards the lake, I can make out the first glimmers of the sunrise behind the mountain's horizon. Hey! She raises one hand for silence. Hold on now, we waited here all this time, let's not miss the moment. Bookmarking my thought, I turn my attention to the growing dawn. Bookmarking my thought, wow, that's a good way to put it. Above us, the deep purple of the night sky is gradually giving way to a paler shade of blue. I glance aside to Kaja to say something, but she looks like she isn't with me any longer. For all of how involved she's been so far, now she just stands there enraptured. Then again, after all this gushing about mountains and sunrises I've done, it's not like I've got any right to talk. Oh wow. At first, it doesn't look like there's much to see at all. The harder I squint, though, and the more I look at it, the brighter the pictures become. First, the patch of light rising behind the mountains, surrounding a cold, near colorless sun. Then, with every passing second, more and more rays break through and against the thin clouds. When they hit the water just right, you can actually see the reflection of it shining on the far side of the lake. Hilda used to say that it looks like the water is on fire back when the entire family went walking together. Beatrice said it looked like paint spilling. Looking higher up to the sky encourages my recollection. Once you stretched your neck far enough, you can't see the mountains. It's the same old purple and blue whether you're in Switzerland or in Austria. I briefly wonder whether Katja is having as contemplative a moment as me. Soon enough, though, the light just gets too bright to look at. My eyes are burning by the time I realize that, and for a good half minute after, I take off my glasses to rub them. All I can see is dancing blotches of green and purple. Not black? Huh, oh okay, makes sense. When my vision clears, Kaja's already stopped staring, having since moved to checking her watch with a busied expression. I kinda liked the game better when it was dark. I mean, not that I hate it now. I guess I just love darkness. So, was it worth it not going back to sleep? She lifts her face back to look at me. Oh, okay, we get a choice after God knows how long. Absolutely, I didn't even realize how much I missed watching. Okay. I guess I'll go with that. Game is too bright now. I know. Should I lower the brightness? I'm not sure if there's an option. Audio cues. That's a good options. Ah, okay, okay. I know what you meant. I just thought maybe I could lower the brightness. Wouldn't have believed that I'd say that an hour ago, but yes, it was really worth it. I honestly can't remember the last time I did something like this. Brings back so many memories from before, got me thinking about all sorts of stuff. What's a few hours of sleep compared to that? That's the spirit. Wouldn't be a mountaineer without it. Oh, damn. You won't get anywhere nice if you're not willing to risk hypothermia. Katja nods in bemused approval. I think I've made a good impression on her. You have. You have. It kind of makes me want to. Unfortunately, your brain is still messed out though. Not in the bad sense. Well, technically in the bad sense, because puffed? Really? Why is this something you notice? Hey, I hope it doesn't sound too weird, but I mean, thanks. You know what? I guess I can let it slide. He's nice. Like, for having this conversation with me. Just standing there and listening and being all nice and stuff while I'm talking your ear off about mountains. Sometimes just having company can make all the difference. Doesn't even matter what you do with it. Not that the sunrise wasn't great, obviously. You're welcome. It's nice to know that I've helped. Gotcha, you're so sweet. Do you do this every day? No, I think I mentioned that. I didn't. You should probably find a backup plan for passing the time. Just on the off chance you're bored on one of these days and I can't be there to assist. It's not the first time I've spent the wee hours of the morning learning about mountains, however. Oh? She just hums cryptically. Anyway, you've already made other friends, I'm sure. I'll leave convincing them to go out with you in the morning to talk about. I'll leave convincing them to go out with you in the morning to talk about mountains to your enterprising acumen. Yeah, that might take some figuring out. I'll come up with something eventually. Then you'll be alright. It's like you said, the company's what really does it. Some mornings coming out here can be lonely, sometimes there's nobody friendly. That it's not always bad, but it's different. It sure isn't always as enjoyable as this one. Glad that I wasn't a bother. I step forward from the wall and stretch my arms with a tired sigh that evolves halfway through to a yawn. I'm going to feel like a dump by dinner, but screw that. This was a pretty great time. You wouldn't have slept anyways, so yeah, screw it. I should definitely keep this in mind for the next time something like this happens. Kadra or no Kadra, I feel more alive now than I've felt in a while. Well, that's great to hear. You want to head over for breakfast in a couple of minutes? Thank you, but I'm going to have to decline. I still need to do a few things before classes start, and I'd really prefer not to be late. Okay, good luck with whatever it is. It was really good talking to you. The pleasure was mine. See you around. What about the lunch date? I'm about to come up with something to say, but by the time I open my mouth, she's already given another one of her bows and made off. She moves fast, for real. As for myself, I'm going the to give cafeteria another check, or at least a vending machine. This might turn out to be an okay day despite the nightmares. I hope it does. Internal room noise? Okay. Before long, it's breakfast time, and I find myself in the cafeteria without remembering the walk to it. Can you hear anything in the game? Is my speaker connected? Looking around, it's still almost deserted, bearing a few early risers shambling around with their food trays or shifting drowsily in their seats, but that didn't make it any less lively than it was yesterday. Some are happily chatting over coffee, some are hunched over piles of textbooks and notes, while a group in similarly designed tracksuits talks about what I figured to be strategies for some sport. Looks like I'm the only one who's alone right now. I make my way to the counter, being as early as it is, there's still no queue to speak of, and the woman on the other side greets me with a perfectly rehearsed smile and a nice small smile. Good morning. What will you be having today, my dear? Okay, maybe I messed up the settings thing. Where's the settings? Preferences. Give me the audios, please. I don't think that would have messed it up, but I scan the counter for choices. I'm not particularly picky with food, so I guess it doesn't really matter much as long as it's filling enough. I ask for some pancakes and a cup of cafe late to go with it. It takes no more than a couple of minutes before the server returns with my tray of food. I carefully lift it only to nearly send its contents flying off when a cold, rasping voice breathes down my neck. Ooh, is it Fran? No. Natalia. Oh, hi. De Broy Utro, Eric. Whoa. I swivel around to face the source of the voice. What hellish beast could have produced that unearthly? Really? Natalia. Oh, hello. You look to be a bit surprised. Natalia gives me a groggy smile, rubbing her eyes on the sleeve. Her hair is sticking out every which way like an unruly patch of crabgrass. Eyes barely even half open. She's carrying a few books and a notebook under her arm. Her shoulders are drooping, and her gait seems kind of unsteady. The thought that she's actually sleepwalking occurs to me. Her blazer isn't even buttoned up completely. Good morning. Not to sound rude, but shouldn't you fix buttons on your uniform, Natalia? She lets out a feeble "oh" before trying to button the jacket up with a single hand, only to the faintest blush on her face. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice. Still too sleepy. There, I'll tidy now. I want to interject how little it improved since she otherwise looked about as tidy as a Kansas farm, freshly ravaged by an EFI tornado. But I have a feeling she wouldn't really care. If I had any previous preconceptions of this girl being anything like a proper lady, those have now been blasted to Kingdom Come. After she gets her breakfast of pancakes and orange juice, we walk over to the same corner of the cafeteria we hung out in yesterday and take our seats. Sorry, so Netra always fixes my clothes for me. Anyway, Eric, how are you? Pretty fine, all things considered. Also, to give you a little bit of catch up, the last stream, it was your first day at this boarding school, and we met some really cool people. One of who is this girl, Natalia. She's Russian, if I'm not wrong. And Fran, who is from the newspaper club which we're joining. And then Kadra, who we met at the vending machine and talked to, and we just like came from watching the sunrise and having a pretty great conversation with her after waking up from the nightmares. This is day 2 at the boarding school. Some hot sauces, ooh. You are a chef, huh? I don't quite think that I've already found my pudding here yet, but baby steps, I guess. I mean, I checked out the newspaper club yesterday too. It's pretty fun, I think. Just staring at the ceiling like, what? Oh, sorry. I missed a bit. It's pretty fun, I think. If I have the time or energy, I'll probably check in the next meeting. Lena seems intense, but I guess I can work with that. So, I'm guessing you're on vacation since the exams are over, right? Or do you still have uni? Lena seems intense, but I guess I can work with that. Her features brighten as she apparently recognizes the name. She lets out a short laugh. Oh, the girl with the mask? Yeah, we're classmates. Oh, okay. She's very strange. She even interviewed me when I first came here. She asked me questions and things. Probably for the yearbook. Lots of questions. By the way, back hurting randomly falling asleep. Yeah, I might just be growing old. I have 2 strands of light hair, you know? So, yeah, I'm growing old. In my 20s. Early 20s. But she didn't let me ask anything in return. I was ready to ask her all about that mask on her face. What do you think is under that mask, Eric? A face, obviously, Natalia. Sorry, that was not funny. Gray hair? Where? On my head. 2 strands. Sorry. The rest of her face, I guess. Yeah, see, Eric and I have similar humor. I wonder about this. Do you think we should investigate, like, Russian spy in action movies? Since I'm Russian, I'm probably good spy, so I think it's worth. I don't think that's how it works, darling. Maybe Sophia is already one. What do you think? Do you think we'll need to ask her for help? But like, not really in front, but not really like at the very back either. But it's not really visible either, so Speaking of her, she's not here with you today, huh? Gray hair may be caused by stress too. I used to get some gray hair on my face back in the days. Yeah, I also heard that height growth is also affected by stress. So yay! Yay! So not only do I have increased risk for heart issues, lifespan issues, gray hair, but my height is also affected by it. Hey. No, she promised to visit sometime this week though. She lives in an apartment just a few kilometers away from here. Is it not cool? But please do not change the topic. Perhaps we can launch some secret back into Maslina's room and search for any clue about her magic. Maybe we shouldn't, Natalia. We should be respecting people's privacy. This is not a regular high school. We shouldn't do that. And even then, we shouldn't do it. Who invented stress? That humans. Us stupid humans. Well, not us technically, because we are we are on the receiving end of it. But yeah, people. Could be us too if you think about it. But I'm not gonna get that deep into it now. But please do not change the topic. Okay, no, we can't do that. Sorry, Natalia. We need to conduct a raid. Nope. Oh, thank you so much for the hugging. A masquerade. Wow, okay. Great, Natalia. Hug back. I think Mika fell asleep on stream again. Let me absorb some of to bring all the color back to my hair. How are you gonna do that? Oh, by the way, I fixed the ghost. It does its little actions when you interact now. Why are you waving? You're supposed to drink, sir. Never mind. Oh, it is drinking. Okay. Yeah, ghost. It exists. Yeah. Ghosts exist. For a few seconds after that, we exchanged unblinking stares. Come on, Natalia. At least try. Also, why is there a half-split ghost on Natalia's name? Beside Natalia's name. About that, I kind of made some emotes, and before we end the stream, I would like to kind of display them and have you guys pick which ones to pick, because I made like multiples of a specific emote. Yeah. Gabib, hi, hello, welcome in. Haven't heard from you in a while. Have you done something spectacular lately? Not really, but I cleaned my room. That's spectacular. Not completely cleaned it, but cleaned it enough. Welcome in, Gabib. How are you doing? How's work been? We're playing a new game. Technically, Missing Stars is the third stream we're playing it. It's about a boarding school for people with mental health issues, and we're day two in the mental health. Sorry, boarding school. Not talking right. Cleaning your room is something I know, right? Thank you, emotes for the. Hey, how are you? I'm doing okay. I have been sick, but I've gotten better. I've been cleaning my room, so yeah. Oh, cool. Work was good. Wonderful. Also, before I forget, Eric, sorry about yesterday. The croissant, that is. I had flu during weekend and I still didn't have much appetite. Gotta ask to do no. I did find my GoPro, so I'm hoping I can go waxing soon enough. Oh, but before that, I need to apply for a college. University. Uh, no. I will surely go waxing this year, I promise. I know that's what I said to Sunitra, but she still told me to apologize. Well, on water under the bridge then. I'm not sure there was any harm done in the first place, but I appreciate the thought. This seems to console Natalia. My favorite part of cleaning my room is when I take everything out of my drawer, check it, and put everything back without throwing anything out. That's cleaning. That is cleaning. I had to throw a lot of stuff out. So, so yeah. Oh god, did I miss something? Okay, I did. She runs her fingers over her hair, a token attempt at grooming herself. She lets out a big yawn and stretches, which has the effect of disengaging the top button of her uniform yet again. This time she fixes it up more quickly, followed by a nearly audible groan. I might need to buy a new one, don't you think so? You might. Oh, she sighs. Lately I feel like life is nothing but suffering, Eric. Relief washes me over as I realize she's dropped the subject of her own accord. But that doesn't mean I understand what the hell she's on about now. By the way, Gabib, just like a heads up, this game can be a little bit triggering and depressing. So yeah. And it's quite lengthy, it's a visual novel. Did you draw those emotes? Yeah, I did actually. So I'll walk you through what I did when I like have them on here. Oh, I missed it. Okay, I did it. What brought this about? She begins twiddling her thumbs with a nervous smile. Ah, so cool, yay! Thank you. Yeah, okay, wonderful. I have some homework due today. Ah, I see, so that's why you're up early? Natalia nods, her eyes not meeting mine. I wanted to review my notes before classes start. Well, that's very diligent of you. I only made like 2 more emotes, so I kind of could do an art stream still, cause there's more emotes that I need to make and stuff. That's very diligent of you. Maybe I assumed too much from little interaction we had yesterday, but I didn't think her the type to do that. That's actually pretty admirable of her. The remark, however, earns me a weird look from her. She gives me a nervous smile, then scratches the back of her head with an off-sounding giggle. Oopsie. An awkward silence falls between us. Her eyes begin flitting to and fro, sweeping the entire room, but not meeting mine. She idly drums her fingers on the pile of books beside her. And do you draw them digitally or on paper? I drew them on paper and then I took a picture, sent them to my laptop, got the background removed so I just have the outline of it. I mean, it's fine. Technically, I could like say it all there, and that would make a lot more sense. But yeah. Shall I continue or shall I explain it later? Hello, CJ, welcome in. How are you doing? I kind of know how you're doing. But welcome in. I hope your day's been good. This is day 2 of being in the boarding school. We made some friends last stream. I think you were here for. Oh my god. Thank you so much for subscribing, Gustav. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy being here. I don't have any emotes yet though for that. Or custom badge, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's keep the emote talk for. Yay, great. Don't make a big ask her what's wrong. Communication is key, right? So ask her what's wrong. I'm pretty sure something's on her mind. Is something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. You sure? Yeah, well, Eric, about the homework, huh? Actually, last night I got distracted by this new romance fanfiction I was reading on the internet, and well, before I knew it, I had fallen asleep, and well, I forgot about doing it. Gladly, I woke up rather early today, but then I kind of, sort of, how you say it, just forgot the lesson we had yesterday. Oh, I remember calling her diligent earlier. I take the call. Like, shut up. Wait, how? What? How? I mean, don't you at least have notes? She just answers with an awkward giggle and a slow, embarrassed shake of her head. Give me my Okay, all caps. Damn. So, no problem, just sporting. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. When are you streaming next, by the way? First Prime? I think so, yeah. So say, would you help me do my homework? It is just a few questions on geography. You're good at this, ta-da. Wait, what? How did you figure that? Oh. Thank you for hydrating, Fan. Well, speak. You're wearing glasses. That means you're a smart person. I know this much, you know. Not necessarily, but I think she's not far off the mark this time. Geography is one of the few subjects I consistently had good grades in. I also have atlases and piles of mountaineering magazines back home. Mostly gifts from my family and the occasional friend from school. Even so, Shouldn't you be correctly sensing the forthcoming objection, though? She grabs my hand and once again looks at me straight in the eye, wide and beseeching, like a little lost puppy, silently imploring you to bring it back to its mother. Aw, please. Obviously, my resistance barely lasts me a couple of seconds. Sure, I'd be happy to. I guess this is a good enough gesture of gratitude for your company yesterday and this morning. I look at my wristwatch. Still more than an hour before school. Damn. With all luck, I can still make it even if I stay here for a while more. Oh, really? Thank you. So, promise me two things though. What are these? I agree to help you catch up with yesterday's lessons, but you'll have to answer your homework on your own. What? Okay, then the second is, promise me you'll study properly starting tomorrow, okay? She pouts in disappointment. He's just looking out for you. You are starting to sound like Sophia, Eric. Are you planning to replace her somehow as my twin sister? You will need a sister license for that first. Wow. What? Sister license? I just thought helping you bit study a bit is the least I can do to thank you for yesterday, you know? No cursing? Okay, I will do my best to not curse. Is it the rest of the stream or just 10 minutes? 10 minutes, okay. Natalia's eyes widen and her cheeks blossom into a faint but unmistakable blush. She fiddles with her hair a bit as her features revert to her usual carefree smile. I see. Thank you very much. You are a very, very nice person, Eric. Hopi cursing? Well, that's just outrageous. I know, right? Sure, no problem. So, shall we get started? Duh. She's cute. The answer should be the letter C, right? A continental shelf. Brilliant, you're doing well. Now, how about this problem? Not actually. Angie's just being sarcastic. Natalia's brows furrow as she tries to crack the next question. I don't think my last statement was an exaggeration, at least not by much. She's actually not all that difficult to tutor. To be honest, she listened well to everything I told her. Ironic effect. Right, that's the word. I always forget that word. It is very rare. Yeah, I realized you weren't around as much in my private streams, so. I guess it depends on the game. She's actually not all that difficult to tutor, to be honest. She listened well to everything I told her and did everything I asked her to, so she wasn't much of a problem as long as I kept her concentrated. I don't think I've cursed in this game at all. Have I? I could have, but I don't think I have. Sarcastic would imply that. Oh. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I've been using it wrong. The sarcasm. This game is pretty chill. It doesn't give you a reason. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, unless it's in the game, so it doesn't. Eric, do you think Santa Claus? Darling, what? What's at the North Pole? There are some hurdles in communication at first. By the time we're done, there's only 15 minutes to go before homeroom. Wow, an hour? Okay. Try a fear on me. I know. Oh god. But we love the game. I guess that about wraps it up, huh? Natalia looks at her notebook now, full of notes and side notes we accumulated over our hour-long discussion of land masses, mountains, and seas, and happily nods. I guess it does. You're such a candy, Eric. Huh? A lifesaver is what I mean. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The pleasure's mine. Unless you say Natalia is so cute, I can't even, but you know. Yeah, I know what you're trying to do there. I stand up and stretch. She follows suit, gathering her books. Candy, I know, right? With that, we walk out of the cafeteria. Well, I walked, while she was pretty much bouncing with every step, humming a little tune to herself. Wow, that's so nice. So see you later then? I need to prepare for school too. I still had quite a few points I would have liked to discuss with you there, but man, time flies fast. Okay, I agree. I still have to get things from my room too. I must hurry. If time flies fast for you, then it is more for me. Time flies lots faster. Damn. Oh, why is that? No, really, why is that? Natalia tries to bury a chuckle in her hand and turns to me with a holy grin. Because I'm always Russian? Oh my god, girl. I walked right into that, didn't I? Yeah, you did. I need to start using candy too. You shouldn't. I mean, depends on the people if they take it um lightly or seriously. I'm finally free of these horrible jokes. Hey, that was actually a good one though. At least there's physical education later this morning. Maybe I can get my mind off them by moving around and sweating a bit. You like him, okay? I mean, I like him. You're me, so... if any random stranger came up to me and said that, I would not take that lightly. Even with people I know, if anybody came up and randomly said it to me without us, like, having some sort of connection that could allow them to say that, then no. Entering the gym, about half of these students I can see are from my class, but I noticed some new faces mixed in. All of us are wearing the same white and blue gym uniforms provided to us by the school of the course. Of the course. Okay, noted. Yeah, candy is not allowed there. Sorry. So how are we liking the game so far, everybody? CJ's laughing. My dear Candy, are you Mika is indeed asleep because if he was around, he would have screamed Angie when you came in. All of us are. Okay, I read that. I recall when mom got to the gym uniform from the class. When mom got the gym uniform from the school, she called it drab and boring, then immediately tossed it into the washing machine before I had the chance to look at it. Yeah, he does. Like, I would take that, kind of. Oh, thanks. Well, hey, I think I made it to 10 minutes of no cursing, didn't I? Uh, I it feels a bit snug, but at least the fabric is breathable. The gym here is a bit smaller than one at my previous school, with soft, rubberish floors and some small bleachers. It's more suited to a playroom than a gym proper. Outdoor sports like track and football are done as part of class occasionally, but apparently I've been placed on the low impact course. What does that mean? You missed your chance, you'll be the only person I'd vote for. Okay. Not a problem. I'd prefer to be in the more active physical ed courses. But my leg could cause problems. Oh, right. Okay, I forgot. Damn. According to the physical I had before transferring here. Walking is fine though. I forgot this guy is. Oh, he can't really walk, right? He limps. Guys, if you were a candy, what candy would you be? No idea. I decide to warm up my leg by miling around the small space where clusters of students are having quiet conversations. What candy would you be, NG? Most of the conversations revolve around the latest school gossip if I'm not aware of, and generic school topics. Homework, what people are up to when they're not doing their homework, when the next test is. Seems fairly standard, though I can't help but feel a sense of alienation. I don't really know anyone here, aside from a few familiar faces from class. I would be mint candy, but that's a story for another day. Oh, okay. I would be like maybe the candy that has, I don't know if you have, if you're aware of this, that has like some texture of jelly inside of it, but the shell is harder, and most times the jelly is uh sweet, while the outer shell can be pretty bland or sour. Oh wow, that's actually quite metaphorical. Caesar, what about you? Gabib, if you're still here. Okay, that was not at all February-like, okay? I was just answering your question. Why am I finding it difficult to talk? I'm not Natalia. What's going on? Well, Never mind. Seems fairly standard though. Okay, I read that. Maybe I can meet people who aren't as pun obsessed as Natalia, or as silent as that one girl who sits next to me. Yup. Okay, I have no idea. Oh. Okay, boss. mm. You'd be like the blueberry flavor of the jelly that I just talked about. Because that taste seems kind of like philosophical, which you are. Ella seemed pretty normal. Who's Ella? Oh, the tour guide. Suddenly, a loud clap burst from the side doors, where a young woman, probably in her late 20s, strides over to us. Hope he interprets us as candies. Hey! Started it. Oh, it's Harda. Oh, Harda. Harda. Who is Harda? Never mind. I wasn't expecting her to show up here. It's kind of interesting to see teachers in multiple roles. Oh, from the newspaper club, right? Yeah, from the newspaper club. God, what's wrong with my memory? Hello, students. I'm Miss Week. Oh, and I'll be substituting for this class, okay? So you're not actually the teacher for this particular class. Everyone pauses for a moment, unsure of what to think. Is this good or bad? The blueberry candy? I mean, I don't know. Kind of good because, like, it captures you in a sense, like philosophical, and then sweet. I'm not sure if you're hard-shelled, but yeah, I think it's good. There's only one way to find out. Everyone pauses for a moment, unsure what to think. A hand shoots up from the crowd of students gathering around his new face. Yes? Where's Dr. Byrne? He's supposed to teach us, right? Dr. Byrne is very busy this school year. He's been invited to several international conferences across Europe and in the United States. I'm sure he misses teaching all of you, though. Several students nod, and I guess this Dr. Byrne was popular with the students here. Yep. I know I'm not him, but let's do our best to get along and have some fun, okay? Some students give a smile, most of the others sigh and shrug their shoulders. Everyone lines up into rows to get started on some calisthenics. However, despite Miss Week's cheerful demeanor, many of the students don't seem all that interested, many putting a minimal effort to appear active. I'm not gonna lie, kind of wish a school like this existed. They're also understanding and accommodating. Ouch. Okay. It wouldn't hurt to get some exercise in. I've been cooped up in a hospital in my own home for months. I wasn't moving a lot while I was recuperating, so being able to freely move around is a nice change of pace. Speaking of yummy things, I had carrot ice cream today. Surprisingly good. Carrot ice cream, interesting. Did you make it or did you like get it? it reminds me of all the times I've warmed up to go outdoors with Gustav. Is it actually gonna be the day we talk to Gustav? Am I the only one actually putting effort into this? Looking to my right yields two lanky males from my class who are sort of doing some half-hearted jumping jacks. Whoa. Hmm. The person to my left has apparently tripped right into me. Oh god, okay. Both of us take a sharp fall into the ground and I'm braced for impact. So so today I was asked to stare into the sun, endured some terrible puns, and now have had someone crash into me. What is this? A cartoon? I mean, got it. I'm not that extreme chef to make my own ice creams. Oh, okay. I mean, experimenting. Everyone experiments. Uh, it feels hard to breathe. I try to lift myself up, but I can't move. There's something really heavy on top of me. Nosebleed? You have a nosebleed, girl. What happened? Before me is a girl splayed on top of my chest. Well, that explains why I can't move or breathe. Me too. The girl who fell on me feebly squeaks out in surprise and scrambled off me. You, you girl, Vex and I'll make some bad. Soon, I mean this year, surely. The girl who fell on me feebly squeaks out in surprise and scrambled off me. So I'm sorry. Her face is tinged red with embarrassment, and I try and say something, but Herda quickly approaches the two of us before I can reply. Herda, whoa, everyone okay? She's rhythmically snapping her fingers for some reason. She sniffled a little bit, clearly trying not to cry. Blood starts trickling down her nose. A nosebleed? Almost instantly, she clamps her hand over her nose to try and plug it. That was a serious blow. My guess is she landed nose first into me when she fell over. I hear her though sharply inhale as she realizes what happened. Oh god. Jean? Jean? Genie, god damn it. Surely. Surely. The girl starts moving in an attempt to get up, Miss Sweet gently supporting her. Did I say Jeannie or Jenny? You know what? Forget it. Jay. She stumbles in an attempt to get up, wincing as she raises to her feet. I'm tripping. Whoa. Ow. Sorry. What the fuck? She must... Okay, I cursed. I'm sorry. Well, it's been 10 minutes. What's wrong? Calm down. She must have rolled one of her ankles pretty badly in the fall. Could it be a sprain? This is bad. If she lives in the lamp, she's Jeannie. Jenny it is then, okay. This is bad. I know. Miss Sweet turns to me. Hey, he didn't do anything. Okay. Sorry to put this on you. Wait, you're from the newspaper club yesterday. Eric. Miss Sweet's face lights up in recognition. Oh, I thought you looked familiar. Sorry this happened, but could you help out Jeannie here? Jeannie. Maybe jeans? I'll just say whatever comes to my head first. I can't leave these students here unsupervised, but she needs to see the nurse for school injuries. Do you know where the nurse office is? I don't think we do. I shake my head. It was probably pointed out to me briefly in the last tour, but I can't seem to recall where it was. Was it pointed out to? People and their weird names. I know, right? Well, from those doctors over there, just take a left and head all the way down until you see a fork in the hall. Take the left one. Okay, wait, am I gonna have to remember that? I hope not. Take a left, head all the way down until I see a fork in the hall. Take the left one. I'm not gonna remember it. The nurse's office is the second door on the right. Okay. Left, down, left, right. There's a sign that says nurse's office over the door. Got it? Okay. Got it. I'll take her there. Hopefully my own leg doesn't give out while guiding her down there. Her nose has started to bleed even more now, to the point that she has to hold it shut to keep from getting stains on her uniform down. Miss, can you... I know! The girl wobbles a bit, but she manages to balance herself on my shoulder and her good leg. You're both gonna fall. Easy now, try to keep off that foot. Slowly we make our way to the doors outside. Yay! It feels weird saying nothing while walking down the hallway. I don't know her and she looks pretty shaken up, but maybe I should talk to her to get her mind off things. It is kind of awkward walking down here without trying to say anything. Wait, how do you make small talk with a girl on your arm that also has a nosebleed? Looking closer, she's... Yep, I'm not doing things. Yikes, really? Crap, I think she noticed me peeking at her. Look away, look away. Oh, hey, are you gonna be okay? You took quite a fall there. Say you're cool here. Yeah, right? Suppose I did. The girl trails off for a moment. By the way, CJ, I've been meaning to ask you, did you get hit with like ads when you joined, or was it ad free? That is, I should be fine. Did you just snap your fingers? As if on instinct, her body stiffens a little, and the fingers on her right hand snap. It's quick, but it's quite loud. She turns a gaze in my direction. Is it a nervous tick? I remember hearing about this on some documentary I watched. She was doing it after she collided with me, so maybe this is something related to that. Suppose you did? That's weird, it shouldn't. I think we're gonna get ads soon as well. What was that? Oh, that's just me. I do that, at random. Tourette syndrome. Okay. No, okay. Tourette syndrome, isn't that the disorder that makes people swear uncontrollably? I guess this shows how little I know of other people's disorder. I'm sure she's probably never heard of a somatic disorder. Oh, okay, just curious. All I can do is accept it and move on, I guess. Maybe she only does it when she's not bleeding from the nose. No idea. That's equals money. Well, hope is actually profiting off. We live in a society. Not gonna lie, the ads profit and most of it Twitch takes, so and I really cannot disable the ads apparently, so I don't know what to do other than make it 3 minutes an hour or so so that it like cuts off all the ads for whenever people come in and they are hit with that. Well, in any case, glad I was there to cushion you from the fall. That could have been worse. That's just me, not gonna lie, this is me speaking. Oh, okay. 4 cents from every ad. Soon you're gonna be rich girl for poop. Great. Um, J- Jay, probably not. So sorry about that. No, no, don't be. I'm not injured, and at the very least, you avoided getting hurt more. Geez, I sound like my sisters now. They'd always get a little overprotective if I got hurt. Gustav did the same thing. Are you okay? I try to reassure her with a grin. Don't worry, I've had worse. The doctor says I'm pretty sturdy. I've had my chest to show that I'm still intact. That's good to hear. I can see a small smile forming underneath her hands. Oh, I should introduce myself. My name's Eric. The girl releases her hold on her nose. Looks like bleeding has stopped for now. My name's Jenny. Thanks for your help once again, and I'm really sorry for knocking you over. Her body stiffens and she snaps her fingers once more. She doesn't seem bothered by it, so my guess is that I can safely ignore it as well. Wonderful. The struggles, I know, right? I think I've said I know right quite a lot in this stream. Don't worry about it, I'm fine. Jenny is a French name. Say it with I don't know how to say it. Jane? Don't worry about it, I'm fine. So, you're a transfer student, correct? I don't think I've seen you here before. Do you know how to say bonjour? Yeah, bonjour. Guilty as charged. She's actually, yeah, she is. I just started here this week. Oh, I was right. Welcome to St. Xampnas then. Thanks. What do you think of the school so far? You guys need to go to the nurse still. It was a nosebleed. That's alright. Can't say I love it or hate it just yet, you know? Well, actually, no. Anyway. Okay. I understand. I was the same way when I first started going here a few years ago. Don't worry. This place grows on you after. If you hear me repeating words, it's probably because in my brain I thought I didn't say it right. Well, there we go with the ads. I don't know why is her name red. I guess while the ad is there, I'm gonna go take a break. Possible bad guy. I don't know. Could be. But then there's another teacher with the red thing, you know, red name. So I don't know. They all seem pretty nice, though. Many people seem. Yeah, that is true. That is true. You never really know until you know. Algeria? Yeah, okay. Okay, taking a break. I may seem nice, but inside I'm mint candy. Wonderful. Terrium. Alright, I'm taking a break. Be right back in 5 minutes, even though the ad will end in about 2 minutes now. Oh wait, oh my god, I think CJ answered the Frosty Tools question. Can you name the country that is home to the Oran International Airport? Let's see. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, you can hear me, I think now. What happened over here? Okay, so I was just catching up with the chat. And I was saying, CJC, you're very smart. And welcome in, welcome in, Jenny. How are you doing? How was your day? You're off work now, I'm guessing. Sorry for crashing. No, no, it wasn't you. Come on. It's alright. Jenny is a hacker plus. Yeah. Thank you so much, Andy, uh for letting me know that you cannot hear me. Okay. Let's start. How long did that take for you? How are we liking the game so far? CJ, NG? No problem, it'll be $5 for the IT support. Ouch. Would 5 cookies do? It didn't take long. Maybe a few months? You don't know what's going on in the game, the characters seem... Okay, I'll give a rundown, I guess. So the game started with Eric, which is us, the character playing the game. In a mountain, I think trekking or something, and we were with a friend named Gustav. It was quite romantic. But I'm not sure if that was how it was intended. Anyways, so I don't know what really happened, but Eric fell or something, and there was all blackness, and Gustav wasn't there, and then we kind of woke up. That scene was a nightmare. So something happened at the mountains, and we fell. I guess we were trapped in this snow or something, and our leg is hurt, and we have nightmares, which is why we transported, transferred, transferred to this school for people with mental health issues. And day one, we made some friends, Fran, Nadja, kind of, and we had an interaction with a very quiet girl who I think is autistic. Okay, where's that cool doctor with proud belly? I don't know. I think he's the principal, right? Yeah. I don't know where he is. That was the first and last meeting with him. So yeah. Hi, how are you? I'm okay. How are you doing? How was work? I'm guessing you're back home now? Looks cute. I know, it's very cute. So that is kind of the rundown. And earlier in this stream, we were out because we had a lots of nightmares. I don't know why. Um, we had a lots of nightmares, so we woke up very early at like 4:30, I think. And then we decided to go out for a walk, and we met Kadra there. Kadra has a I eye mask, I guess. I don't know what it's called. Eye mask on one of her eyes. We met her at the vending machine getting sandwich, and she talked to us about how she interacts with people here when she meets them first. And eye patch. Yes, eye patch. Hello, Candy. Oh my god. You miss the doctor? I'm pretty sure he'll come around. I'm home, yeah. Work was fine. Work was alright. Better now that you're wonderful. I'm far from Candy. It's just something that Angie calls everyone now. Uh, and then Nandra and we were talking about mountains. Specifically, a mountain in Africa and all the routes there and how he wanted to go there and stuff. And then his facade of being able to walk normally kind of slipped, and Nadra recognized that he limps, and she kind of told him that everyone except me, yes, he called everyone except me Candy, Jenny. So yeah, Nadra kind of told him that he doesn't have to hide and stuff. Then we saw sunrise, and it was very beautiful. And then we helped the girl, Natalia, and now we're here. And that was a long one, but I hope that's kind of caught up. The one that would melt in a mouth and not in hands. Okay. I'm going to take a shower and maybe play a little. Take care and good game. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Caesar, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a good shower and game, and a good rest of your day. See you around. And don't be too hard on yourself, sir. Bye-bye. Thanks for the plot summary. Pleasure. So there are some students who have been here quite a while. Janice. From Jeannie to Janine. What am I on? Janine's reassurance that the school. Is that how it's pronounced? Janine? Crazy late for you. Yeah, crazy late. Kinda like just 3 a.m. But yeah. What time is it for you? Evening. Just night or something? Oh, okay. That's nice to hear. Still, I'm going to remain skeptical as a matter of principle. The week isn't even over, and I've run into, in Janine's case, quite literally some rather interesting characters. Really. Finally, we arrive at the nurse's office. Wow. Looking around the office actually extends a little bit past the lobby we're currently in. Several doors lead into what I assume to be beds or private offices. The nurse on staff greets us, then notices Janine on my shoulder. I think I got it. It's Janine, I think. She rolled her ankle a bit in gym class, and she had a slight nosebleed. Almost midnight. Ah, damn. Are you like a night owl or what? Goodness, are you okay, young lady? Well, my nose has stopped bleeding, but my ankle still hurts. Alright, let's head back to my office and I'll take a look. Need me to help take her back, miss? That would be very helpful, thank you. You'll have to wait in the lobby afterward, though. Patient privacy, you know. Of course. It's not Janine. Okay. Never mind then. Jenny it is. Jenny. Never mind. The nurse guides us to her office in the back, a small room stocked with bandages and some basic first aid tools. It's me. Yeah, it's you. It's well equipped, almost overly so, for what appears to be an area for small injuries. Call her whatever you want. I mean, yeah, but still. I help Ginny up onto the patient table. The nurse props up her leg in order to keep it elevated. Would you mind waiting here for a bit? I need to fetch something from the supply cupboard. The nurse steps out, leaving the two of us in the room. All good up there? I'm fine. I hope it's not a sprain. Mind if I take a look? What? I take a closer look at her ankle. No swelling yet. If it were a sprain, her ankle would definitely be puffed up and red right about now. I don't know if it's sprained. Does it still hurt? Jimmy nods. Then it's probably just the pain from rolling your ankle so suddenly. You sure know a lot about ankles, Eric. Are you studying to be a doctor or a physical therapist? If I had a friend called Janine, Jenny, no, I would call her Taser. I guess we're calling her JJ then. No, nothing like that. My family and I do a lot of hiking, and when I was younger, I twisted my ankle on a rough patch of the trail we were on. Coincidentally, it was on the same leg that's been giving me trouble as of late. Okay. Did it hurt? Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was on crutches for a few weeks so it could heal properly, but I learned a lot about how important my ankles were, that's for sure. Jazo, but only if she skates. um, but you should definitely be alright. That's good to hear. Just son the nursery enters the room. Okay, I'm back. Everything good here. Janine, tell us everything about it. Yeah, go on, tell us. The two of us nod, which seems to satisfy her. I guess this is my cue to leave. See you in a bit, Jenny. Okay, see you soon. JJ. She won't be long. Please take a seat outside. The lobby seems to be pretty new in comparison to the rest of the building. There's a secretary clacking away on a computer nearby. Some social media site is up. Guess there isn't much to do here aside from students and staff visiting. She's old, smokes. I used to work with her. Oh, why didn't they show the nurse? I'm utterly I know, but I guess they can't really, spend time on characters that are not really important. I don't know. Nice lady though. Oh, okay. Sounds cool. Yeah, sounds cool. A slight rumble in my stomach reminds me that taking most of my time at breakfast helping Natalia meant that I didn't have much time to actually eat anything. Ah, bummer. Thankfully, there's a water cooler right next to me. I take a paper cup and wash out the sour taste in my mouth. Right next to the cooler is a small dish with some wrapped chocolates in it. It's not exactly breakfast, but it's something to eat. I take a few to nibble on while I wait. Wonderful. Nurse is the character you want to spend time on. Like, huh, okay. I see. Soon after, Jenny returns, minus the blood on her face. The very embarrassed look she had is gone, replaced with a gentle, friendly smile. The nurse turns to me. She's got a cold compressed on her ankle, but she should take it easy for a little while longer. Okay. Jenny still has a slight limp on her step, but she looks much better after getting cleaned up. Her eyes, which were sullen and a bit red a few minutes ago, look to be a lot brighter now that she's cheered up a bit. Feeling better? Yeah, thanks for helping me get to the nurse. Like I said, it's no big deal. You were right, it was just sore from the rolling. She said that? Ginny nods. According to her, it would have been swollen much sooner. Huh, I was right. Jazo is a treasure. Jazo, okay. That's a relief then. Trust me, you do not want a sprained ankle during school. Jeez, okay. Right, I'll have to be careful. You want some chocolate? I got a few extras from the front desk. I pull out a small piece of chocolate that I swiped from the secretary's bell. Jazo's eyes light up. Thanks! In one smooth motion, JPEG. Alright. Tell. In one smooth motion, she unwraps the sweet and pops it into her mouth. So what do you think of her substitute teacher? Oh well, she's my floor storm, so I already know her through there. She's really nice to all of us at the dorm, so it's nice to see her helping out at the school too. Sounds like we'll be fine in the gym then. You bet. Be right back. Of course. Take your time, Jenny. I leave Jenny Jenny, I lead Jazel back over to her dog, jogs up to greet us. Ah, you guys are back. How's everything? Well, the nurse says I just rolled my ankle badly. It's not a sprain, thank goodness. Ah, that's good to hear. Just sit out for the rest of the class, okay? Okay, sure. I'm going to walk her to the bleachers. And you, young man, don't have a sprained ankle last I checked. Well, shoot. Get some laps in, alright? Jazel will be fine. Jenny is away. Wanna gossip behind her back? Gossip about what, though? Yes, ma'am. Oh, don't be so formal. You're making me sound old. About Jenny? With Jenny? The Jenny in game? Or the Jenny? There's gossip about the Jenny, the one and only? I am curious. Ah, yeah, I don't really get what the hands part meant, but now as I head back to the track as the two girls take a seat and start talking. You're not a gossip girl. Not really, yeah. I'm more of a quiet kid. Well, I guess not a kid anymore. Adult? Quite adult, I guess, now. I'm dangerous is what I mean. After finishing up, Herda meets me before I head to the locker room. Hey, thanks for your help today, Eric. For sure. It's good of you to help out other students here. No problem, just doing the right thing. Jazo certainly appreciates it. Really? She's not one to mince words. She told me she's really grateful to you for carrying her to the nurse's office. I recall her face when she thanked me back in the hallway. It was warm, cheerful, and charming. I could tell Jazo was the type of girl to be a little more grateful than usual for things like this. I hope you two continue to get along. It will be nice to have two great students leading everybody in the class. I think we'll be good. Jazo seems nice. Uh, great. How are your plants, peppers doing, by the way? Growing fine? Well, see you around, Derek. As she leaves, I can't help but feel a surge of pride after helping out Jazo. This'll keep me going for the rest of the day. Wonderful. Oh, we're at night. Okay, okay. Hours later, I'm holed up in my dorm room, buried in physics equations. Growing slowly, yeah. Have I told you about the plastic? Oops, crash into. Okay, that was way earlier. Why am I unlocking that right now? Yeah. Have I told you about plastic cups they grow in? Yes, they have Barbies on them, right? And you have 20 of them? I think 20. I do remember now, okay? It's amazing how fast this stuff piles up. It is crazy how fast this stuff piles up. Disney princesses. Barbie, sorry. Yeah. Damn, okay. 2 nights ago, I was wondering how I would ever pass the time. Here's my answer, I guess. Yeah. I scratch the last answer down the bottom of the notebook page and sit back in the chair. 45? It's wrong. It's definitely wrong, but it's also the last problem of the night, and I can't convince myself to work on the numbers again. I close the notebook with a satisfying thump, happy enough to be done with the work. Compromise or no? Coasting through material like this probably shouldn't be so easy, but being the new kid surely gives me some leeway. Oh, I wasn't hating on your memory. It is me who doesn't remember if I told you about this or not. Okay. So we both have bad memory. Let's cut each other some slack then. Surely. No call today? Really? Hey, where's Gustav? I was. What? Day 3 already? I was. Where's Gustav? He didn't call you last night? What? When we're looking to it, nothing happens. It's not about bad memory, I just like to forget myself sometimes. Very relatable. Very relatable. Okay. Anyways, class the next day is rather uneventful. Most periods are taken up by lecture time, except for a small class discussion in philosophy. Actually, maybe I should stop the game now, since... Never mind, we'll continue for 20 minutes. Philosophy? Oh my god. Wow, okay. I'm awake through all of them. At least I slept better last night. Still woke up early and didn't watch the sunrise with any pretty girls, but I think it's an improvement. Yeah, it's late. Shh, shush. At the very least, let's call it... Oh, it is 3. Oh, okay. You know what? No, it was my mind playing tricks. Don't shush me, young lady. Don't challenge me, mister. At the very least, let's call it an even trade. Miss Claus, hi! And the last equation, don't be afraid to give the wrong answer. I expect it gave you all some trouble. Miss Claus's question nudges me back to the present. I've been absent-mindedly ticking off the problems as we go, and even if I got them right, I wasn't listening closely enough to know why I got them right. No one's jumping to answer this last question, though. Anyone? The silence is killing me. I raise my hand. I got 45. 45 newtons? That's correct. Did anyone else find the same answer? Only a couple other hands go up. One of them belongs to Ella, who glances in my direction with a proud smile. Oh, we're in the same class. Oh yeah, I forgot. Never mind. Go to sleep. No, I will not. We're doing an emote showcase after this, so no. Only a couple other hands go up. One of them belongs to Ella, who... Okay, I read that. Class breaks for lunch, a small crowd forming around the door as my fellow students rush for the exit. Yeah. Did you forget? Class break, okay. I take my time packing my bag, not wanting to shove my way through before a voice pulls my attention from the door. Miss Hope, your behavior is truly most orthodox. Outrageous, I say. Ouch. It's okay, honestly. I've been sleeping a lot, so... Besides, if I do get an admission in my uni, I'm gonna have a night schedule, so it's fine. I see you're adjusting well. Ella bounds over, having only just finished stowing her own bags. Standing in my peripheral vision with hands neatly clasped behind her back. Thanks, it's been going better than I thought it would. I'm glad to hear it, and to see you answering tough questions like that shows great initiative in your studies. Does it? It was more of a guess than anything. An educated guess. Don't sell yourself short. She punctuates the word with a little flourish. Far produce far prouder of my accomplishment than I am. Sorry, just trying to be humble. That way, when I suck, no one will be surprised. Okay, makes sense. Ella's good cheer seems to sour a little, but she falls into step with me as I zip my bag regardless. Besides, you raised your hand, didn't you? I don't see you bragging. Yes, but I've been in this class since the start of the semester. It's not unusual for transfer students to come here with a few holes in their studies. That's not to say they aren't intelligent, but every school has a different curriculum after all. So I'm always a little worried. That makes two of us. We follow our classmates as they file into the hallway, joining the river of students on their way to lunch. Fine, then during the I shall keep my eyes closed. What does that mean? What does that mean? For all its concessions and planning, the cafeteria is still ordered chaos. Ella wants to waste no time scouting out a location for us. I can't help but feel out of place watching the other students all file to their routine seats while I stand to the side, awkwardly holding a tray of sandwiches. Sandwiches might be the only constant in my life right now. Fortunately, Ella waves me over from a table, sitting alone at a comfortable distance from all the established cliques. That will show you. I won't like it. That's not fair. Her lunch is picturesque assortment of items, and I can't shake the feeling that she's chosen it specifically to meet, but not exceed all her nutritional needs. I try not to think about what my selection says about me as I sit across from Ella. Thanks, I was just going to eat alone. I'm not sure who I should be sitting with yet. Don't want to impose, you know. My Miss Clarissa's advice on social pressure seemed a little too direct to be dismissed out of hand. Of course, it's definitely good to give people space, but you're a new student. Most of us are more than happy to get to know you. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Hey, hey. That's not very nice of you. With your uniform on, sometimes I forget you've only just gotten here. She points at the jacket. Oh wait, it's about 12 over there as well, right? Okay, you know what? Which reminds me just how weird I feel in this shop. Well, you know, I thought it would be best if I started dressing like the locals. Ella lets out a polite laugh and leans over to straighten out my collar. It looks good on you, really. To her credit, Ella is quick to change the subject. So, what do you think of our teachers? The conversation isn't ending, is it? I'm gonna save it. worry about you. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm gonna end the game and I'm gonna do the emote showcase because I'm pretty sure that's also gonna take a while. So, let's see. Bye bye, Ella. Unfortunately, we did not have Gustav call today, so